Well, I'm certainly not especially original in being interested in the margins, right? It's something that artists have a long-standing fascination with, these kind of these individuals on the margins, and also just like demi-mondes and subcultures that are on the margins. So I would certainly not claim any originality in that respect. I can tell you that it's very much based on it's a very autobiographical story in a lot of ways. I remember being a child, I grew up on migrant farm worker camps in near San Juan Bautista as a small kid. And I remember we were workers, like in that era, like children would go out and work in agricultural jobs. It was very common. I don't know that it's as common anymore, but it certainly was then. I remember we were working once and there was a raid by the immigration service, La Migra, and some of the workers just started running to escape. And I remember not being sure whether we were supposed to run or not. Like, I didn't quite understand. I was a little kid, and I was identified with my fellow workers because I was a worker as well. And that when they ran, I thought maybe I should run too. And I think about that moment a lot, like that sense of never knowing whether or not you're on the inside or whether you're an outsider. And so I think I've always lived with that kind of dis-ease of that sense of never quite trusting that I am on the inside of institutions, that I am on the inside of culture, that I am at the center of anything. And so that's the place I always work from. Now, that kind of thinking, I think, can easily become a fetish of sorts that we have, and we always think that we're always on the outside of things and that we're never on the inside of things, which is not true. Everyone's on the inside of things at some point, right? Is the insider, is the one with privileged access information, happens to everybody at some point. But I do think it was a very formative kind of thing for me, is that experience of the outsider.